Hello.
Buddy.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Are you excited for this?
Yeah, I am actually.
Alright guys, so today I surprised the guys with a bunch of empty boxes of tools. You like that?
Yeah, that one's empty.
The empty boxes of tools. This is the nice one.
Oh, look what we're using.
You're gonna...
Wow, what a coincidence.
Wow, look at that. We've been using Milwaukee tools at the shop for the past 12 years. Essentially ever since they came out with their first like impacts and all the other stuff.
Yup.
How's that unit?
That's probably gonna be the most used unit we got that I've seen.
Well, we could have used that a lot last week. But look at this thing. So this is a 191 piece toolkit. Well, it all is, plus some impacts and some other things. And this is the big dog. It's got the Forge battery. You wouldn't believe how much torque this thing has. More than your Honda, for sure.
His Honda.
More than his Honda. So anyhow, we got a bunch of Milwaukee tools. We worked with Milwaukee a couple years ago, and you know, as like a content creator, you know, sometimes if you use tools in the videos, you could leverage the audience and the exposure that you get to use things. So they don't do anything, they don't do any money, they don't do anything else like that. They just are like, you know, if you use our tools and we have new stuff coming out that you think would work in the shop, you know, you can make a request. And then from that, they approve the stuff or not. But I told them that we now have 2 guys in the shop. So we got Eric and we got Sean, and we only have one freaking tool cart over here. So over the past couple years, you know, it's pretty much just kind of me in the shop and then Sean for a little bit. And then it was me and Eric. So we have like my main big toolbox right here. We have, this is a Harbor Freight unit. We have that tool cart over there. And then we have this guy. So this has kind of been like the daily use sort of situation where, you know, we take it, and we put all of the stuff, and then we roll it over to a truck, and then we work on it. It'd be better to have like an actual tool cart. So since Sean and Eric have been working here together a little bit more, Eric has his tool cart. So he has his tool cart right here. So this is what Eric has been working out of. Sean's been using that other thing, and then now I don't have anything to like work on, technically, like a little cart thing, because I kind of used to use that thing. So we're gonna basically just build a complete Milwaukee tool cart, and then we'll go over some of the cool stuff that we got, and we'll do some testing with it. Guys, the clock is counting down on our track pack giveaway, which includes this BMW E36 track car, which is fully set up and absolutely ready to drift. It comes with this 20-foot tilt deck trailer. It's also attached to this F350 dually that has been lowered on DDC wheels. It's turbo diesel, fully loaded leather interior, and this thing is ready to road trip across the country with either that track car or any of your other projects in tow behind you. So if you guys have not shopped with us yet, head over to MotionAutoTV.com right now, because this giveaway closes at the end of the month. And you might be driving this thing home as quick as next week. So tap that link, get entered before it's too late. Good luck. All right, so we're working on the BMW. Eric has been, what have you been doing over here?
Just going crazy.
You got like a whole like setup. So you have chocolate milk. This is shots. These are some blue bit. What is this? What's going on with that?
I think you tried to blow me up.
That, you know, that makes sense. You're rubbing this on with your fingers, some Goo Gone to try to get the plasti dip off of there. Where's your muffins at? Your blueberry muffin almond. Delicious. Yeah. So anyhow, I decided I don't like the rusty look on the hood. It's gonna get sanded, right?
Oh yeah.
So we gotta give it a test and see what it's like. Look at this. So new Milwaukee 3/16 throw, which is the more aggressive one. Battery powered, some 220 grit. Oh, that's it. That's nice, and you don't have like the air compressor that's turning on and off, and then the hose that's whacking you in the side, you know, or touching stuff. So, and then we'll do a coat of high build, like direct to metal primer on that. Probably hit it with some of the like the rust stop stuff. So we'll do a coat of that. So we have the rusty hood in the paint booth. We got it all sanded down yesterday with that new Milwaukee sander. Definitely has a little bit of texture to it, but I'm just not resonating very much with the rust look on it. I just want to clean up the car, make it look really nice. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is hit it with this Zero Rust. So this is a direct to metal, like rust inhibitive coating. So look at that. Pretty much you just load this in the paint gun, spray it on there. It'll give us a nice base layer that will basically stop the rust. And then after that, we're gonna go ahead and hit it with some high build primer to fill in any of the imperfections, get out any of the textures or anything like that, and then paint it silver as well as some of the other parts of it. So we got some more stuff prepped over here. You can see we have the front little grill piece. This thing had a bunch of little dings, dents, and random stuff, as well as some rust as well. We're gonna go ahead and hit this with the direct to metal primer because it doesn't have any rust on it. And then we're gonna hit this front bumper right here as well. And we're just getting her freaking cleaned up, and the E36 is gonna look really nice. So I'm reducing it a little bit just so it sprays out of the gun a little bit better, because it's pretty much ready to spray, but reduce it so it sprays a little bit easier, sprays a little bit more even. But I really like this stuff. We've put it on frames and stuff before, and it classes them up a little bit. So this is an Astro paint gun. I actually really enjoy this thing. It's like a Euro Pro sort of deal. It sprays really nice. It has a 1.5 tip in it. So I have like a couple different paint guns. I use like usually a 1.8 tip when I'm spraying primer, because you kind of want it to spray out thick, almost like texture to a certain extent, because like the direct to metal high build primer, you want that stuff to kind of go on thick, so that way when you sand it off, you know, you fill in all the other stuff. So you kind of want it nice and thick. It fills in all the little, if you have a little crevice, it fills it up, you sand it off, she's brand new. So like I could probably spray this out of a 1.8 tip and not have to reduce it. It would kind of maybe spray a little bit chunky if I tried to spray it out of like a 1.5 tip, which is what we're using. So I went ahead and reduced it down a little bit so it lays out a little bit flatter, a little bit smoother. So that way we're not dealing with texture in this. And then when we move to the high build primer, we'll spray that out of a 1.8 tip. I'll typically reduce that down a little bit too, just so it's not so chunky, so it lays out a little bit smoother, especially on a hood like that, where it's already pretty smooth. We're just kind of filling in little craters from like the rust essentially. So that's why we're gonna do that. If I were to try to spray like high build primer out of like a 1.4 tip or something like that, it would just spit. Like the gun would just be, but a 1.8, it'll really put down the primer and spray it out really thick. All right, so now I have all this stuff in the paint booth. Just gonna go ahead and hit it with some primer. Gonna dust this off a little bit from sitting outside, but we are within the recoat window on that, so I don't need to scuff it. Hit the front bumper. We'll let this stuff sit out in the sun in the morning. Depending on how everything looks, might let it sit for a day, but we should be able to paint it by the end of the week. Now we're hopping back in the booth to lay down one of my favorite things, which is some high build primer. So you can see we did a little bit of filler work on the front bumper, just a little couple scuffs and scrapes and bumps and stuff like that. And you can see now we're gonna go ahead and coat that hood that we hit with the rust stuff the previous day, just to kind of fill any of the little imperfections. A lot of it kind of happened because of the rust. It seemed like it ate away at the hood, and it left a lot of little divots that kind of looked like orange peel in them. So filling it with some high build primer and then letting it sit for a little bit and then sanding it all flat again is going to be the best way to get the best finish on this stuff. You can see the side skirt needed a little bit of attention too. So after the primer the other night with the BMW, we went ahead and sanded everything, got it all wet, sanded down to 400 grit today, and everything is pretty much ready to spray. I was already in the booth just a little bit ago, sprayed a little bit of sealer on it, so the hood's in there. Everything looks pretty much like this, minus all the little spots are covered up because we did a direct to metal primer as a sealer reduced down. Full coverage gray, so we don't have to worry about, like, I don't know, sometimes silver's a little bit challenging. Obviously if you paint to where it fully covers, you know, in theory it should cover anything, but it just, I feel like you're chasing it so much. Like, you just have to put coat after coat after coat after coat. If you have like a black spot in the middle of your hood that you could just eliminate by coat of sealer, getting it all one uniform color, it all goes on a little bit better. I feel like as a painter, it looks better when you're doing it. I have some silver mixed up today, so we're gonna go ahead and spray the hood, the bumper, the things, and the BMW is actually gonna look really, really good. So I'm gonna throw you guys on my face right here. We're gonna go rip. So here we are hopping in the booth. I like to go ahead and hit everything with a nice tack rag. Get off any little dust or any fellas. Sometimes bugs will hop in there and do some crazy stuff. You never know. Even seems like if there's like a little fuzzy or something sticking up in your paint, sometimes it kind of knocks it down and smooths it out. So silver is typically very transparent, so it's nice to paint over the sealer that's a very similar color. Also, you got to watch a lot with silvers and metallics just in general with tiger striping, but this seems like it lays out pretty nice. Okay, I'm just trying to do some nice smooth even coats over the hood, not going too heavy. Seems like if you lay down the first coat really, really heavy and wet, it seems like that's when you start to get like the blotchiness or sometimes like tiger stripes and stuff that come through it. Looks like I got a little bug in there, so I always keep a little needle in the paint booth somewhere, sometimes some tweezers, and just kind of make sure all that stuff, you know, you can kind of pick it out of there. Typically when I do my clear coat, obviously I'll go ahead and I'll hit it with the tack rag before. You can see I actually wear a suit when I clear coat, just because that stuff is so sticky. It gets all over your arms, like your arms hairs, and it's just not fun to get off. So I've made it a pretty good habit of, as soon as I clear coat anything that's bigger than like a fender, I always throw on the paint suit. Now the clear coat that I'm using is kind of a quicker clear coat, and it sprays 4-to-1, so it's a little bit thinner, but it sprays out pretty nice. And a trick when, you know, painting stuff is I really just watch the edge, and I just make sure that it flows out really nice. You can see we get a nice wet coat that flows into each other. And as soon as it's wet, then I stop painting. It seems like that's when people get runs, is when they keep chasing it and trying to put more and more paint on. So there's the finished product. Everything looks really, really good. It laid out really nice in the booth, so pretty stoked on that.
Okay. Alright, get your hat on, dude. Trevor's almost here.
Come over here so it's not right.
Today's his birthday. We got some hats. Trevor's 45th birthday. It's not his 45th birthday. I think it's his 33rd, maybe 34th. Happy birthday. I wasn't expecting that.
Alright, so it's the next day. Everything looks really good. Today's my birthday. I'm 33. 92, right? Yeah, that's 33. 33. I used to think I was just 30 all the time, and then, you know, I was like, oh shit, I'm 31, and then I'm 32. But yeah, everything turned out really good, so I can't wait to get it on the car. I feel like the rest of the car isn't gonna look as good now. This stuff just turned out really nice. Something about fresh paint, you know? A little on horn toot. Not the toot of the on horn, it's just, you just do the process, you know? You just do it, and then you know that you can do it, and then you just do it again, and then after you do that, then you do it again, and then you then you just like expect good results, I would say. So like I didn't expect any less than this, but I'm just happy that it looks good. So now that we have everything painted with the BMW, that thing looks so much better than it did when we were in Florida. Right now, we're gonna take a little quick break and start working on the giveaway truck, or I guess, you know, the truck that's included with the track pack. So right here, one of the first things that we did this last week was actually install the new Boost Auto cab lights that are completely paint matched. So from the factory, these things come with some really big, ugly, amber, orange, gross things, and it just makes the truck look super, super dated. And especially now that, you know, with the blackout headlights, the new grille, lowered with the new wheels, we just wanted to spice it up just a little bit more. So take a look at these cab lights. So the cab lights are LED, they look really cool, and then the turn signals are actually integrated in them, which is pretty cool. Sean has been messing around with a couple things in the interior. Obviously, we're trying to bring this thing kind of up to the newer standards of today. It's freaking 2025. We can't be driving around with a 6-disc CD changer. So we have this Alpine Apple CarPlay radio in it, you know, that's what you want. As well as, I think in the last video, I don't think we really talked about it. We went ahead and switched a couple of things on the back of the truck. We did an 08 tailgate with the 08 taillights. Again, kind of making it more modern. And we went ahead and put this backup camera tailgate handle right here. So we'll go ahead and pull off that. One of the most frustrating things about towing a trailer or trying to back up to a trailer is doing it in the middle of the night by yourself. You got to get in and out like 20 times. So backup camera, CarPlay radio, new cab lights, and to go with the cab lights, now we have a new set of Boost Auto towing mirrors. Let's take a look at these fellas. So one of the things that Boost Auto started offering recently is paint match stuff. So take a look at this. So normally when you get a set of these mirrors, the top cap is not paint matched at all, but this will just kind of spice it up. So this is another set of the 08 style mirrors with, look at the turn signal on it too. So I think it's got the sequential on the turn signal, which is gonna be pretty cool.
Looks like the new stuff.
And then this fella right there, which is paint matched Oxford white to the truck. And typically it's not a big deal for me to paint match stuff because, you know, I've been painting stuff for 15 years now and we have a paint booth here. Whereas if you're working on something in your garage and you want to kind of change the look of your truck and you just don't want it to be like the standard run of the mill thing, you could actually get some stuff that is paint matched from Boost Auto. So when you're ordering online, you just put in your paint code and then obviously select what parts. So we went ahead and put in the paint code for this, as well as the door mirrors. It makes it a lot easier and it honestly saves me a lot of time because we got a lot of things going on around here at the shop. So Sean's gonna go ahead and install those. Gonna get this thing all put back together and then we're gonna test this thing out and see how the backup camera works. Oh yeah, can we do that real quick?
Charles was here for 2 years and never done that.
You never done that?
Never.
We gotta sync the audio with the thing. Go ahead.
I think you guys are making some movie of me.
All right, come on.
Trust you guys. I don't trust this at all.
I don't think
you guys have some idea.
I don't think that was.
You guys have some
Think
thing
that-
going on where you're gonna make some clip doing this number. Like I'm not.
Really?
I'm not that dumb.
All right, one more time.
No. Can also go out.
Look at that, buddy.
Custom.
All right, guys. So now we have a completed look of the truck outside with the cab lights, with it, I guess, call it dusk, but. Truck looks really good. You can see we have the amber turn signals in the front, but I almost want to do like a switchback. But we have the mirrors, which have the turn signal in them, and the running light, and then the cab lights up on the top. I think they look super sleek, because normally, like when you looked at these trucks with the dually lights on them, they're just so belligerent, especially on a white truck with that big ugly orange like yellow bulb at the top. So that looks really sleek. You can't even tell that they're on when they're up there. But then check this out, as soon as you hit the blinkers, we have just the blinker, so you can see only this side of the truck is on, which is cool because we have blinker front, blinker here and right there, and the blinker actually kind of blinks to the back. So if you're behind the truck, this one is actually kind of pointing back behind it, which looks really cool. Now the next cool feature about these mirrors right here is the fact that they have all of the adjustability. So what you do is you turn this little knob right here to the left, you go left, left, right, right, and then look at this. You pull this back, and we got power folding mirrors on the dually, which is freaking sick. They both go in and out. Then you just push it forward, and that's all with the factory switch. Nothing else has been done. And then what you do is you just push it out. Look at that. So we have power extend and power folding mirrors on a truck that was never supposed to have the power extend and power folding mirrors. So huge shout out to Boost Auto. It's definitely a way to take your, let's say a 99 through 2010 truck and make it more modern. So that's super sick. We went ahead and pulled out the BMW to get its first look with the transformed truck, and this thing completely transformed with the painted front bumper, the painted hood, the front fascia too. That thing was in pretty rough shape. I mean, not bad, but it had a little bit of rusty stuff. We have another door for this one, and we're gonna go ahead and respray that this week. But we got the side skirt on it, we got the track pack giveaway things. Took it to the Slush Motorsports Festival like 2 weeks ago, and we had this thing out there drifting it. And that was even before we had the truck lowered, and everybody was just looking at the truck. They were super stoked on it with the wheels, and I absolutely love it now with the paint match mirrors, the paint matched Boost Auto lights on the top. A couple other little things that we did to this thing that maybe you guys didn't notice. We did the NRG seats on the interior. We fixed the driver window. We fixed the driver door handle because it wasn't working. We have the NRG steering wheel, the Drift HQ handbrake, the chassis mounted PMC shifter. This thing has the CNC 71 angle kit, adjustable rear arms. So if you guys have not already, head over to MotionAutoTV.com, check out some of our merchandise, check out our VIP program. The last, I think, 2 or 3 winners that we've had have actually all been VIPs, which is really cool because you get double entries. So if you guys want a chance at owning this entire setup, the truck, the trailer, the car, plus $3,000 in cash. This giveaway ends at the end of June, so June 30th is your last chance to grab some entries. Yeah, I appreciate the love and support on the giveaway so far. It seems like you guys are super stoked on this thing, and a couple people have already talked about like maybe selling the track car and just keeping the truck and trailer as like a marketplace rig, and I don't blame them at all because that sounds pretty cool. But BMW is a ton of fun. I'm excited to be driving it this weekend at the Ascend Festival at Pikes Peak International Raceway. So if you guys are local, come out and check us out there. Chris Rudnick is coming in. He's going to be picking up the Sunny, and then we'll be doing some stuff together as well, driving on track. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Appreciate you guys watching this video. Let me know what you think of the Boost Auto stuff. Again, huge shout out to them. If you guys have a friend or you're interested in some stuff, check out their website. I really appreciate them working with me on this build. And yeah, grab some entries. See you later.